difficult to comprehend where your mind will go when your means are limited to start with. But if you have unlimited means, you can, how do you not become have some grandiose idea that you can have unlimited power, unlimited authority? Because who is going to challenge you? Because there's nowhere you can't go. Because even if you upset your own government, well, I'll just go and live somewhere else. And there's plenty of
Well,
countries that will take your money.
yeah. Well, in this analogy, it's the aliens, isn't it? It's the aliens that he's got to answer to, or who wants to answer to. And what do we see posted through people like Elon Musk's belief or spiritual beliefs, all this kind of stuff? It all leads back to, no, I'm not talking about religious beliefs here, just spiritual ones that are
Mm,
non-religious based. It all leads back to aliens.
yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh.
But this is the thing, is because when you kind of, you're in the world that you and I are, the reality of the world kicks in. There's things that we don't think about because reality kicks in. We've got to go and do some shopping. There's a bill for the car to be paid. Rent's got to be paid, stuff like that. But when you're absolved of all of these concerns, and there's somebody that does all of that for you, and all you get is your own time to decide, what do I want to do today? What is my project? Well, it's like, well, what is my megamaniac project? Because my ego's going to start engaging because I've got unlimited resources, unlimited power, unlimited authority. Because my money is the safety net. If I decide to upset the government and the government like issues a warrant for my arrest, well, I'll just leave the country and go to a country without an extradition process, and then spend all my time trying to dispose that government because I've got more money than the government's got, and the government's got to answer to the taxpayer. I don't. But I'm probably not going to go down that road. I'm probably going to be. I reckon I could get to Mars, and because someone else is doing it and people are talking about it, I'll be like,
Mm,
I want to get to Mars before that fucker.
yeah.
I want space travel before them. Why wouldn't I? Because my ego's going to step in.
Bit like the guy that died in the Mariana Trench, trying to
Yes,
go
yeah,
down
yeah.
there to for the whole Titanic thing. And his ego got in the way and killed a whole crew, including himself.
Because there's an interesting thing I remember that it's about Olympic gold medals, and it's one of the reasons that psychologists sometimes talk about how captivating sports stars are to people, and why you millionaires and billionaires kind of are attracted to them so much, because you can't buy a gold medal. Doesn't matter how
No.
much money you've got. Doesn't matter that anybody can beat you if they're talented enough. Sports is one of the few areas that defines talent over money. Obviously, big investment in the infrastructure around sports, the training, the psychology, all helps. But at the end of the day, on that 100-meter track, the discus Wimbledon final, it's just you against an opponent. And when you win that gold medal, that's an extremely exclusive club that no amount of money can buy you into. And so, can you imagine? You can get whatever you want, but like you were saying about Frankenfurter, you walk into a room, everyone idolizes you, then Eddie turns up, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at Eddie." Well, that's the same for a billionaire. Billionaires go nuts, and then some sports personality who's done some incredible thing turns up, and nobody cares about the billionaire anymore because he's got something you can't buy. He'll never
Mm.
have your money, or she will never have your money, but you can't buy their success. Doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't buy it. And suddenly something is unattainable. And I think
Mm.
that's the interest with space, because there's so many elements of space that's unobtainable so far.
Mm.
What if you're the one? So if you look at wealthy people back in the day, they were limited to where they could walk or sail to, or where they could drive to. And so they all started, you had these great explorers, but it was all about legacy, making a name for yourself, putting your dent in the world, being written into the history books. Well, billionaires do that by space travel because you've got to kind of if you're a billionaire, your basic necessities and needs are taken care of. Whatever, you've already got a chef sorting out your food. You've already got the finest wines in the wine cellar if that's your kick. Even if you're married, if you're not getting the sexual kinks that you need, there's somebody that you can pay for that. So the only things left are the things that might be unobtainable, like space travel.
Hmm.
Because once you've had your meal, once you've been laid, once you've had a few drinks, well, what do I do today? I've already driven the fast car. I've already had the Formula One company or the racing company, or I don't like that. I've already done the food, the wine, and the sex on the super yacht. What do I do now? And it's difficult to comprehend that that person's going to get bored of the very things the rest of us dream of that we'll never even get near. And they're already bored. And it's like, I think I'll have a space company because no other fucker can do it.
Hmm.
And the only thing that surprises me with all of them is they haven't named it after themselves.
Hmm.
They've all. I'd be like, all aboard the David Watson. We're going to the moon.
Trump would be as well. He'd be all aboard, going to Trump Tower on the
Yeah,
Trumpmobile.
yeah, exactly. Trump Tower. That would be me. Watson Towers. you know. So I just yeah, like um, although X, as in the former Twitter, Elon Musk's original company was X.
Hmm.
So that's actually him just going back to his roots.
Yeah,
But but what would you like? Can you even imagine what it's like to have that sort of financial freedom?
probably not in reality. I'd like to think I could, but I don't think I actually could. No.
Mm. And just as I was literally reflecting, because I've obviously said out a lot of thoughts out loud, at no point in time did it come into my head I could do philanthropy. I wonder how many people I could help. No, it was all about my space project called David Watson Takes You to the Moon.